How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a terrifyingly fantastic week leading into Halloween, and hope I can make it just a little bit scarier and a little bit more fun with this video, where we're going to be diving into the Undying team, because after 4 long years, the team is now complete, and Scopely gave us their first ever original character, Kestrel, who got bit by a zombie. She ain't feeling too good. She's hanging out with a bad, stinky crowd, and they are tearing up the helicarrier. We're here in the playtest, but we're not going to spend much time here. I didn't find my results in the playtest to be super relatable. With everybody at 7 yellow, 7 red stars, it kind of makes Kestrel pop too much. It makes Zombie Juggernaut not show how much he actually contributes to the team. And with enemies like Endgame Thanos at 7 red stars instead of 3 diamonds, it's just not real, right? I do want to do one match here because I think it shows sort of the maximum potential of this team in the long run, which is really cool. And I know a couple of you are going to be buying Kestrel all the way up, probably a few hundred of you. So I want to give you guys your bone. What can you expect to get out of them for maximum value? They can beat some Professor X teams. We're going to kind of dive into this match. We're going to talk about the nitty gritty and how Professor X messes with Undying, what sort of Professor X teams you can expect to beat with this team, and what sort of Professor X teams you will not beat with this team, because it is very easy to make sure you can't beat a Professor X with the right units around him. Let's talk about the main power of the Undying team. The main power of the Undying team is their speed up on spawn. It's just flat out, that's what it is. With them being a post-Ares team and having speed up on spawn, I think they're the only ones besides Insidious 6 with Vulture and a different Superior member, if there's an enemy character that gives it to you, right? They're the only team that has that, and that is a speed vector that hasn't been tapped into too much with post-Ares. But there's a lot of characters that counter it. Professor X counters it. Medusa, Brimstone, Ares, Black Cat will counter it for our bio characters. 5 off the top of my head, I'm sure there's more. You need to be mindful with your Undying team when you're going into a character that does that. Because if you couple that mechanic with characters that are faster than your Undying team, that have interesting ultimates, interesting opening abilities rather, then your Undying team's going to lose. For instance, this match can work, but it's sketchy, right? Gore at 129, he's going to go first. He can take revives off. He can do some interesting stuff to us, but it doesn't really do much damage. Same with Null. Null at 127, he can do his ult, but it doesn't really do much damage. It's more about putting darkness on you. Even Professor X, it doesn't really do too much damage except to the single target. It's more about doing debuffs, and same with Emma. If this was Fantastic Four, Franklin ults, Invisible Woman ults, you're dead. You don't get a turn, right? So keep that in mind when you're trying to use your Undying team. Look out for enemies that'll stop your speed up on spawn and have faster speed sets than you. That's why Brimstone demolishes us. I'm not even going to show it. If you want to see Brimstone against Undying, check out people on Twitch. They're going to get mad about it. Brimstone is a new war team that is actually a full team. They should beat the Undying. It'd be ridiculous if they didn't, and it's not close. Also, Damon actually benefits from Greg deaths rather than not benefiting from them, so he kind of flips that mechanic on its head. But this matchup can work because of what I just said. Yeah, they stop our speed up on spawn, and that sucks, but because their ults are not super meaningful, our kind of clap back at them is crazy. And if Professor X doesn't strip the charges off of Zuggernaut, Zuggernaut is going to absolutely demolish them with even with 7 red stars. On the live server, if he's at 3 diamonds and Null doesn't have 3 diamonds, Zuggernaut just one-shots him, right? So let's see how many charges our Zug is going to get. He's back up to 2. Obviously, Gore clears the first little bit. He's going to get some more there. All right, he's up to 4 now. Lots of mind controls happen, but unless it's a perma kill from like Zombie Scarlet Witch or Hela, then they come back and it's kind of okay. All right, so we lost our Zombie Scarlet Witch early. That's unfortunate. Also, Kestrel didn't crit on the Null, which is super unfortunate. We just lost our Kestrel. Not loving the way this is going. I'm going to make sure I target into a Striker unit first here. A vulnerable unit, rather. So we get him done. And then let's go ahead and we will ability block here. And that might kill the Professor X. It sure did. I think Hela needs a certain amount of members to actually be unavoidable. Yeah, she needs 3 members to make it unavoidable. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we'll just try and take her out with a little mind control action here. Is this unavoidable? This cannot miss. This might be okay. Let's try this. Boom. Yeah, that can't miss. Perfect. And so, as you can see, like, we can get through this, but it's because of all those things I talked about. This is not super realistic. It's easy to counter. So if you're sitting at home and you're thinking, I'm going to buy Zombie Kestrel up to 7 red stars because that's going to make me beat Professor X teams, just know, I can win this match probably 80% of the time, but this is just one Professor X variant. And the way that the game is currently evolving with too much sort of speed manipulations tied onto passives, I think the speed stat meta is about to start going up so they can kind of do a hard reset. We'll see if I'm right in that prediction, but I did want to share that because obviously that is amazing. Doing anything else on this playtest would make absolutely no sense because you just demolish everything instantly. So I actually have some phone footage I want to go over. We're going to talk about the value of just like free-to-play Kestrel, and then we're going to talk about her event and how I'm approaching that. So let's go check it out. Alright guys, so here we are on the live server, and now this is actually just a 2-star Kestrel, 2 yellow star Kestrel, with gear tier 19, not even gear tier 20. The first test I wanted to do is like, can I RNG my way into similar results that I was having against Professor X teams that don't have what we talked about, the big weaknesses, you know, faster speed stat characters that do more meaningful ults, and the answer, or more meaningful opening abilities, and the answer is yeah. Honestly, Kestrel just stopping the opening safeguard that Sasquatch or other pre-taunts get is kind of enough for her to get them off the taunt and let the Undying characters do what they do best. And they do it better on the live server than they did on the playtest, right? Because you can get diamonds on Zombie Juggernaut, and then he becomes an absolute killing unit. So we're going to rip through this. And that got me thinking, because this particular matchup is very RNG dependent, and because there's a way where I can just make sure Professor X never loses to Undying, just throw Fantastic Four at them, I have to start considering where else can I use the Undying team? And will it then be overkill? Because you got to remember, the Undying team, we have anti-speed up Zombie Juggernaut passive, we have anti-speed bar and speed stat in the Zombie Scarlet Witch passive, we have anti-safeguard in Kestrel, anti-death proof in Iron Man, and also speed up for us on Iron Man, and then we have the Gregs for Hela, and an extra Greg if there's a Kestrel. So there's a lot going on in the passives, but do I need all of those in any given matchup? Right now, on the live server, Zombie Scarlet Witch does not play with the Undying characters. She can, but she alone can carry sort of less valuable team members like Mercs for Money or like a Fantastic Four team. Yes, those teams are worth less than Undying because Undying has a much more powerful gimmick in that speed up on spawn. So Zombie Scarlet Witch can kind of go off and do her own thing. And I think that's where we're going to end up going. We're going to end up having Zombie Scarlet Witch continue to do what she's doing, and Zombie Kestrel and the other Undying characters, they're still going to be more powerful. They're still going to be more interesting simply because Kestrel is stopping that safeguard. It's going to open them up to taking out characters like Thunderbolts. If there's like a really strong new Thunderbolt member, I don't know, Lady Bullseye, if that starts being a problem, all of a sudden Zombie Kestrel's like, no safeguard for you. Zombie Juggernaut, clear the field. Let's go do our thing. Or, you know, really strong Astral teams. Or whatever new team comes out that has safeguard on spawn but doesn't stop speed up, all of a sudden the 4-piece Undying is going to start looking fantastic, right? Look, this is an example right here. This enemy team did not stop me from getting speed up on spawn. And look at the amount of damage we're able just to rip through them. Look at this Hellish. She's going to do a special, and that's going to be it. That's a wrap. My Zombie Kestrel is above 50% life still because of all the healing she gets. And though this Black Knight is about to do his special, no safeguard's going to come. And that's kind of her real power. I don't need Kestrel to be one-shotting people for the rest of the Undying characters to do their thing. And I think that is actually a beautiful change for this team. And that's kind of been the case for all the Undying characters. They all have come to the game with just these absurd mechanics that made them immediately useful for free-to-play. If you crack it out on Zombie Kestrel, are you going to have better success? You might just have faster success on it. You might just kill teams faster. I don't know if better success is going to be the right word because of the overwhelming power that the rest of the zombies have. Let's look at this one. This is a fully gear tier 20 absolute endgame Thanos null, right? And I'm going to use the full Undying team, but I don't really have to here. I could use Zombie Scarlet Witch here with a bunch, like I could use Zombie Scarlet Witch and Mercs for Money, and I'd be able to get through this, right? I'm using the Undying team, but I don't have to. I could go use the Undying team elsewhere. That's kind of where my brain is going when it comes to this team. As we can see, just the anti-safeguard is enough right now for this particular matchup. Like Miss Marvel Classic keeps trying to put safeguard on the enemies as well as speed up, but my Juggernaut and my Kestrel were stopping. Now they're going to get safeguard because Kestrel died. But the enemy team is already too far gone. They already have too many debuffs. Zombie Juggernaut is already erasing people. You can see he's still the heart of the team, right? And so I think what we end up doing with this team is something more like this, where, okay, they have, and this is also a really cool interaction I wanted to share with you guys. They have Safeguard on spawn, the Astral team. They're getting speed bar, and I don't have Zombie Scarlet Witch. But because my speed up on spawn is so much more potent than 25% speed bar, I still get to go first. And because they don't gain Safeguard on the Astral members, I'm going to rip them to pieces, right? And okay, this is also, I want to talk about this too. Ghost Rider Robbie is back in the meta, guys. Ghost Rider Robbie, he's getting speed bar for all the bleeds that go out there. And then he's just like, oh, I'm going to go first, by the way. I'm going to put defense down out there for my Zuggernaut buddy, and Zuggernaut's going to kill everybody. It's exactly what's going to happen here. I thought it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. I should have put it on the Emma as well. But yeah, so this is where I think the future of Undying is. Zombie Scarlet Witch is still too potent in her passive. She can carry more nerds to get 2 high-value matches done instead of 1. And I don't think Professor X is going to be a consistent takedown. All right? So, the Undying team, amazing, awesome. Do you need to crack an eye on them? No. Let's go talk about the Kestrel event and what you can expect to get from this event based on your participation. Alright guys, so here we are in game, and I just want to kind of walk you through how I'm approaching this event and sort of the numbers you can expect to hit, and then you got to be the judge for yourselves, right? Because I'll tell you right now, a 7 red star Kestrel will do insane damage, is going to be really fun to watch her animations, and that's great. A 2 yellow star Kestrel is still going to stop Safeguard on spawn, is still going to have the Undying team rip people apart, and the Undying team is still limited in its current capacity. It will not be Brimstone Apocalypse. It will not be Fantastic Four, Professor X. Maybe the next team is going to be built around having a really big Kestrel and the Undying team working as a full unit. And I might kick myself in the butt at that moment, but I don't think that's going to necessarily be the case. I think Zombie Scarlet Witch is still going to float around doing her own thing, stopping speed bar, speed stat, and I think my Zombie Kestrel is going to be floating around with the other 4 Undying members, stopping Safeguard, and then Juggernaut just rolling over people. And that's where my head's at for this event, so I don't want to go too hard on it, which is interesting because you can have sort of different tracks. If you're using all of your cores and your refreshing nodes, you could conceivably get up to a 4 yellow star Kestrel. But you don't have to go crazy for the unlock, which is kind of where I would be at right now. I bought Kestrel so I can make this gameplay footage, but knowing what I know now, if I didn't have to make this video, I would not have done that. Because we get 5 nodes. Each node can give you a total of 800 of these fragments, which means we can get 2 orbs per day. Over 12 days, that'd be 24 orbs. And if we look at her minimum drop rate, these orbs are actually not bad. These orbs are actually pretty good. So we're going to open 2 here together. But if we look at the minimum drop rate, it's 2 on 24 orbs. That means we would get 48 shards. She is a 45 shard unlock, plus we get a calendar. So there's some forgiveness there. And that's amazing, right? You don't have to go crazy with cores to get her unlocked. And I just want to be super real with you guys for a second. What is the difference between a 2 yellow star character and a 4 yellow star, 2 red star character? Nothing. The only difference is going hard on this event right now will let you eventually get Kestrel to 7 yellow stars faster when they rerun her event in 6 months, and then they again give us more access to her in a year from now, the same way they did Zombie Scarlet Witch. But I'm gonna tell you guys something else. I did free to play for the first Zombie Scarlet Witch event. I dropped like $100 on the second Zombie Scarlet Witch shard occurrence, and then she sat at 6 stars forever. And now she's likely going to be made farmable soon. They're giving away a lot of her shards this Halloween. I'm going to get her at 7 yellow stars, the same speed a lot of y'all who spent $0 on Zombie Scarlet Witch are going to get her to 7 yellow stars, right? So I don't think I need to go crazy for this event. I'm going to kind of be happy just farming all 5 nodes every single day. I'm not going to be refreshing any nodes. I'm not going to be dipping into 100 cores. And I'm just going to be having her ride the zombie juggernaut train. And that's going to be enough. Let's open up some orbs here for fun. Zombie Scarlet Witch. There we go. I now have her at 7 stars. We got a 4 drop. Again, because I spent that $40, we're probably going to get her to 3 stars using this method. And that's cool, but it's definitely not necessary. But anyway, guys, that's where my mind is at for this Undying team. I think they're awesome, very, very powerful. They can be split up to take out multiple teams instead of just one, which I think is sort of the pinnacle of what I would want from a team of epic characters. And it makes me excited about the future of the Phoenix Force team. Let me know what you think about what we talked about here today. How hard are you going on the Kestrel event? Are you excited for Kestrel, or maybe you just don't like war and you have no interest in going super crazy on it? Can't wait to read your comments, guys, but for now, stay happy, stay healthy, have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye for now.